before we get to our number one pick of 2017, let's take a moment to talk about a few games that didn't make the list and why. Does anybody have any games that they would like to talk about for just a minute? Don't take too long on it.
I would like to talk about, as a major fan of the Mass Effect franchise, how completely and utterly
biggest beefs 2017. Let's
yeah.
go.
I got beef with Mass Effect Andromeda big time. I'm so upset about that game. And I bought it. Like, I fucking bought it on launch day because I love Mass Effect.
Pre-ordered it.
And they just like took a dump on my chest.
Yeah. Didn't nail it this time.
Yeah. It's gonna take a lot to
Sorry, Mass Effect.
It's gonna take a lot to bring me back around.
Jason?
I like Steamworld Dig a lot. I thought it was very good. It didn't make it on my list, but it's really, really fun. It's a good Switch game. Yeah, it's perfect for on the go. It's the perfect amount of time. You can kind of just like jump in, jump out. It doesn't really matter what you do. And it's got a very satisfying Minecraftiness to it that I quite enjoy.
It's like somewhere between Minecraft and Dig Dug.
Yeah.
It's very good. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
The
puzzle rooms.
I haven't been to a puzzle room yet.
There's like these little rooms that you unlock, and to finish them, you have to like kind of solve a puzzle inside the room, and they're all over the place, which is really cool.
Yeah, I look forward to that. There's two games that are not on. I'm the only one that. Well, no, Jason played one of them, but they're on most lists, and they're not on mine. And that's Nier Automata and Wolfenstein 2: The New Order. And the reason for that is the games, the stories are very good. Like Wolfenstein 2's story is amazing. Like it's one of the best stories in gaming this year, to be sure. The gameplay's really, really bad in that video game.
Yeah, it's not good.
Like it feels bad to play it, and it doesn't indicate when you're being shot, and like it just it's not. They didn't do it. They didn't do it. Which is weird because Doom like just came out, and so I don't know, but they didn't nail it.
Yeah.
And Nier, I think, is the story is very, very anime. It's some of it's good, a lot of it is very Black Mirror, which not a fan. But the gameplay again is super boring. Like, it's not bad like Wolfenstein's gameplay is, but it's just really repetitive, and like I did not. No thanks. It's like a hack and slash, but it has something to say. Like it wasn't great. But the story was neat. Like there's a twist in it that like the whole game is them preaching to you about this one thing, so you think that's what the game's gonna be about, and then it's not about that. But the thing it is about is like, so I can see why people like think it's good, but I didn't really enjoy it. Nobody else played it.
Tyler let me borrow it, and Xenoblade came out.
Yeah, like I don't think, like, I mean, play it, I guess, but like if you've got nothing else going on, but I don't think it's worth the time. Like, there's a lot of cool mechanics to it. Like, your HUD is like based on these chips you put in, and you only have a certain number of slots for chips, and that's kind of neat. But it doesn't respect your time. Like, there's the opening sequence is like 2 hours long, with like a big boss fight at the end of it. If you die at any point, you start the fuck over.
Whoa.
So like if it's like if you're in the boss battle and and you die, you do the whole thing. So like I don't know. And there's a story reason for it, but like fuck you, man, don't do that. I'm a grown man. I don't have that kind of time. So anyway, the Game Awards was right, is what I'm trying to say. So let's get into our
hashtag the Game Awards.
Hashtag the Game Awards was right. Nier Automata did not belong in the top category, so bye. Let's talk about Jason's number one first.
Yeah, let's get this
Hey
done.
everybody, it's Everybody's Golf.
Jason loves Everybody's Golf.
It's the number one game of the year. I am no doubt about it. It is 100% the number one game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are going to try to tell you that it's a single player game where you don't have fun with your friends. And I suggest that you don't listen to them because that's not the truth. The truth is that Everybody's Golf is the best game of the year, and you're going to get it, and your friends are going to get it, and you're going to love it. It's going to be the best thing that happened to you the whole year.
It's fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Very good game.
It's the best.
I think we can all agree that if we had to come up with if we have to come up with an aggregate game of the year for probably boring, I think we can all agree that it's that.
It's almost yeah. You have a scoring system. We can.
It's.
But the math.
Yeah, the math checks out. Like
the math checks out. It's
Jason's
Jason
Zelda's not high up enough.
Yeah.
To move anything, so it's yeah, because it's 1 with 10 points. What did you 6?
For what?
For Everybody's Golf.
5.
5, so 15, 21. So yeah.
Yeah.
So Everybody's Golf is the official game of the year for probably boring, but it's not the game of the year because the game of the year is Persona 5.
Yeah. Somehow, the two of us can both put Persona 5 at number 1, but aggregate.
That's how good Everybody's Golf is. Like it's not our favorite game of the year, but it's good enough that it's high enough that it can overcome the 2 10-point.
It's the game from this year we'll all continue to play together.
Agreed. Now, Persona 5.
Persona 5.
Let's talk about how it's the best game maybe ever.
Maybe.
It's maybe my favorite game of all time. This game is it checks every single box. It is like they reached into my head and said, "What does Tyler like?" Well, he likes turn-based RPG combat. He likes cool jazz music. He likes hamburgers. he likes dating sims. Like it's all there. And it's all wrapped in like this incredibly cool really stylish package. Like even from the first, like when you first boot the game and it's just like the buildings come up and they're synced with the first 3 hits of the opening song. It's so fucking good, and it stays good. Like I never felt like I had to. I mean, and they disguise grinding in a really interesting way, like with the what do they call it? The mementos.
Oh yeah.
Like in previous Persona games, you had to just grind. Like you would go to a castle and you just wouldn't fight the boss. You would leave and then you'd come back because you had to grind. But in Persona 5, the whole point is that you're changing people's hearts to like make them realize what is the truth and like be better people. And a part of that is like these little part-time versions of that, which is mementos, where you just like go down in this deeper and deeper in this kind of randomly generated dungeon, and you fight like a mini boss, which is somebody else's heart, right? And you beat them, and that's how you grind. That's how you get levels.
It's like a bully at school who's like blackmailing somebody.
Like a bully at school, or like the parents of a kid that died under the watch of the teacher, and they're blackmailing her so that she doesn't get fired. It's balanced in like in a way that Persona, and I know nobody played Persona 4, but it's balanced in a way Persona 4 is not, because Persona 4 is like this really, really bright and happy thing most of the time, and then it gets fucking dark as shit. Like it gets way darker than this game does. But this game kind of stays like consistently like dour, but also funny. Like you're kind of a piece of shit in the game, which is the first time Persona 5 or this Persona series has been like that. Most of the, like Persona 4, you're like the coolest kid ever and everybody loves you like right out of the gate. So like in Persona 4, you're kind of just like this loser that witnesses a crime and has to go away. And then people think that you did a crime, so you're constantly underwatching. People are judging you because they think you did that, and you just don't tell them you didn't. And then along the way, you meet a wonderful cast of characters who become your best friends. And you get Persona, and you go to the dungeon, and it's the heist aspect of it's really cool. Like sneaking around the dungeon and shit. Like having like the way that you like sneak up on enemies is you're like crouch behind the wall, and then you like jump out and you pull their mask off and stuff. And the the relationship mechanics are really, really fun. Like, you can choose to have all girlfriends or no girlfriends. You don't have to romance them necessarily. But you can, which I like a lot. But your male companions and your non-romanceable companions are also really interesting because you choose what story you see, right?
Mhm.
Like, you don't have to see everybody's story. If you like Ryuji, but you don't like Painter Boy,
Yusuke.
really hate Yusuke, then you don't have to hang out with Yusuke. Like, you don't
Painter
ever have
Boy.
to see him ever. But so
He was a
this is
painter
really,
boy.
yeah. He said see you.
I said, "See you later,
For
boy."
real, he's the worst. But it's this really interesting, like, life sim that I think is better. The life sim part of it alone is better than any other game that I played this
Yeah.
year. Just like living in Shibuya and like having a job.
Yeah.
Like, go to like being like, okay, now I work at the beef bowl shop and I gotta remember all these orders, and then and you gotta fill the orders at the beef bowl shop.
You're like getting the notes app out on your
It's
phone,
so
like taking notes.
fucking good.
Uh-huh.
And like I don't know. The way you get guts is eat a big hamburger, which I like a lot because hamburger is canonically the first food in the list of foods that I like to eat. So that's really fun. And then you get to have a girlfriend. You get to try to pick on a girlfriend. You get to spend Christmas with the girlfriend. And then you get to spend Valentine's Day with the girlfriend.
You want the quarter American blonde model? What about the student body president?
Hey, you got options. What about the heiress to the big hamburger store? She's there. You get all the free big hamburgers.
Hi, my name's Gina Big Hamburger.
Yeah, she's got the big hamburgers.
I'm heir to the big hamburger fortune.
You can romance your teacher. You can romance your doctor, which is also a very good choice.
You can romance a freelance reporter.
Yeah, she sucks though.
You can romance a fortune teller.
Fortune teller, she's hard. Fortune teller's tough. And it's I don't know. Like, I can't really put into words why I think it's the best game I've ever played. Up until this year, Chrono Trigger was my favorite game of all time. Because of similar themes. Like, it was kind of about these like misfit people coming together and solving a huge crisis, and I really liked it. And add on top of that, like, the life sim and the relationship mechanic stuff, which is just my shit, man. That's just what I want in every game. Like, how come Mario didn't have to build up his relationship with Peach throughout that whole game?
Well, she was kidnapped.
She was kidnapped. But yeah, Persona 5. Please play it. I've played it. I've finished it 3 times.
Okay, so here's the deal about Persona.
Uh-huh.
It's got Pokemon.
Oh yeah, I forgot Pokemon's in there too.
Yeah, it's got Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
It's got Earthbound, and I guess Chrono Trigger has the same sort of, like, you can sneak up, like, if you like approach an enemy from behind, then you get to the preemptive strike or whatever.
Right.
It's got and Paper Mario does that too, and I prefer that to the randomly generated enemies.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more satisfying, and when I get snuck up on, then it's like, it's my fault.
Yeah,
you
saw them.
Yeah, I saw it.
The alarm went off.
I saw it. But it's one of the best stories that I've ever seen in a game. It's some of the best characters, some of the most lovable characters. I loved being in that world. I'm a big, like,
they're your best friends.
Yeah, like, it's games are movies to me. Games are escapism. Games are, games are cinematic experience that I get to interact with and, like, make do. And that's sort of one of the big appeal of video games to me, and Persona 5 ticked everything about that. I got to do everything that I like to do in basically every video game in Persona 5.
Yeah. And you could do whatever. Like, you want to go see a movie, you just go see a movie, and the movies are really funny. Like, like, it's like the bread night or something. It's like
the bread night's really
good.
And
it's just like Batman, except for it's bread themed, so, like, the jokes are about toast and stuff. It's just this really rich world that you can't possibly experience the first time around, so it forces you to play it again. And when you play it again, you get to keep all your stats, so you don't have to, like, worry about grinding those out, so you can kind of just explore and
you can just be top of your class starting at the beginning of the year.
You can dodge that chalk right away.
Yeah, when the teacher gets mad and throws the chalk,
throws the chalk at you, you dodge.
you dodge.
Yeah.
And then everybody think you so cool.
Yeah, you get a lot of cool points.
Um,
You take your finals.
it really is just.
You have
oh my
to go to
God.
school. You have to really go to school because they.
You have to remember all the
Yeah,
information.
they tell you facts, and you have to remember that shit, and then take a test on it.
Yeah, like
it's like,
yeah, you actually have to take a test.
yeah,
and then the other,
they're hard
and
because
then
it's
there's
Japanese
a part of it
shit.
that's just like some of it's just your intelligence stat. Like that's definitely part of it.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Because as your intelligence goes
definitely-
up, the answers get dumber that aren't right. Like they're more obviously wrong.
Well, and there's
or
that
something like
last
that.
little cinematic that they show you where it's like,
Oh yeah.
and it'll be like this section was easy, or it'll be like,
Right.
man, it looks like we had a really tough time with this
Yeah,
one.
Yeah.
And that'll end up affecting your grade as well. So you have to answer all the questions right and have a high enough intelligence stat to be the top of your class.
So I have the last thing that I'll say about it is like in the same way that like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds was this unique experience that sort of made me feel something, and Night in the Woods made me feel something. There was the end of Persona 5, like there's this huge boss fight, like when you play the real ending, like you can stop early if you don't feel like you're ready, and you can replay the game, which is what I did. So by the time I got to the last boss, I was pretty leveled up, and so it wasn't really a problem. But it is long, like it's a long, very prolonged boss battle. It took me like the first time, just the boss alone took me like an hour and a half. Like it took me a long time to finish.
It took me about an hour.
It's a long ass fight, and there was something like I felt obliged for when it was over. I felt that obliged to make it Morgana, Ryuji, An, and protagonist, because that was like the original four, like the original three people that like accepted you as a people. So it just like I made it my own headcanon that like these four had to be together to finish the thing you were fighting. And that just I made my own really beautiful moment, and then it fucking did it anyway, because then like you pull the big gun out and it's it's incredible. And then the Morgana stuff at the end is like really, really satisfying. It's a wonderful video game.
Probably one of the best.
Yeah, I anticipate playing it through probably once a year for a while. Just as something to come back to.
Glad you guys enjoyed it. I'm really glad. No, it seems like a great thing that you guys are experiencing, and I have no way of tapping into it.
It's its own game. Like because I looked, like I was like, I need to play something else that like is like this. Like what is aping this game? Like what is there a bad version of
Is
Persona
there a
5?
free-to-play Persona
There's
5?
fucking not. Like there's no other games, like Persona 4 is it. Like there's no other game on the market that like puts all of these things together in this kind of way. But the last thing we probably need to talk about, and then we'll let Jason off the hook. Who is best girl?
Kawakami.
It's a good answer.
Kawakami
That's a good answer.
Kawakami's number one
What
always. If it had to be a classmate, then it would be Makoto Nijima.
What about Sae Nijima, the unromanceable lawyer? Why not? Give me that option.
It's just because you can't have her.
Probably. What's the shogi girl's name? I can't remember.
Who?
Shogi. She play shogi. Show you
Oh, Hifumi.
Yeah, Hifumi's pretty good. I think Goth Doctor. I think it's Goth Doctor.
It's got to be Goth Doctor.
Tai Takemi. Yeah, I think it's Goth Doctor. And with that note, that's the games of the games of 2017. Goth Doctor and Horny Teacher take home the big the big prize of best girl.
They take home the big prize of best girl.
Yep.
Jason, do you have any closing thoughts on 2017 since we talked for a while?
It's been a great year.
It's been a great year.
Been a bad year with a lot of good games in it.
Yeah, it's been a
Yeah.
shit year. Well, there's good things are happening.
Doug Jones. Doug Jones for
Mhm.
president.
Yeah, Doug Jones for president.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. This is a long one.
This was
Yeah.
a long one.
We're gonna
Yeah,
have
we
to
all-
cut this up into segments or something.
We all had 10 this year, so it took for fucking ever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
this
it
was
took
like
for
2
fucking
hours.
ever. My girlfriend was like, "It's taking forever."
It did take a long time. But it's fun. It's fun to get together and talk about video games without trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And
just talk about video games.
yeah, and just talk about good games like Persona 5 and The Best Girl Goth Doctor.
Hey everybody, welcome to Probably Boring.
What's up, YouTube?
What's up, YouTube, and welcome to Everybody's Golf, our daily golf stream, where we play everybody's golf. Have a nice year. We'll see you in 2018, and do it. You do it.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a blast.
Bye-bye.
Bye.